So in the previous lecture we discussed about the half subtractor, half adder and the full adder, right? So in this lecture we will discuss about the full subtractor, right? And after that we will discuss about the comparator. Okay. So you know the approach to design any combinational circuits, right? So you have to follow some steps. So similar to the full adder, for the full subtractor we will follow all those steps to design the full subtractor. So the first step to design any combinational circuits is you have to find out the number of the inputs and the output, right? So in the full subtractor, you know, there are the 3 inputs and the 2 outputs similar to your full adder, right? So I'm saying these A, B, C are your inputs and there are the 2 outputs. One is your difference, second one is your borrow. Right, this is your black box or the block diagram of your full subtractor, right? So after that, you know, in the second step we have to make the truth table for the same, right? And for that, you know, the truth table is the combination of the inputs and the outputs. Now here there are the 3 inputs and the 2 outputs, right? And if there are the 3 inputs, then there are the 8 combinations, right? So this is the truth table. This is the input. Now we will find out the difference and the borrow of these 3 inputs, right? So 0 minus 0 minus 0, difference is 0, also borrow is 0 in this case. Next 0 minus 0, right? And after that 0 minus 1. Here the difference is 1 and borrow is also 1, because if we subtract 0 minus 1, it means we have to take some borrow from the previous inputs, right? And the difference is 1, otherwise the borrow is 1 in that case, right? So similar to the next 0 minus 1, 1 minus 0, 1. So difference is 1, borrow is also 1 in this case, right? So in the next 0 minus 1, 0 minus 1, 1 and 1 minus 1, it is 0. Difference is 0 and what about the borrow? Yes, borrow is 1 in this case, right? Because 0 minus 1. Here we have to take 1 borrow. So it comes 1 and 1 again 1 minus 1. It becomes 0. So overall difference is 0, but this borrow is also 1, right? Similarly, in the next case, 1 minus 0, difference is 1 and borrow is 0 in this case. 1 minus 0, 1 and again minus 1, difference is 0, borrow is also 0 in this case. Similar to the next, 1 minus 1, difference is 0, borrow is also 0. In this case, 1 minus 1, 0, again 0 minus 1, difference is 1, also we have to take the borrow. So borrow is also 1 in this case, right? So this is the truth table of the full subtractor, right? So in the next step, we have to write the expression for this outputs, right? This difference and the borrow, right? So in the standard SOP form, we can write down this is first, second, 4, 7, right? 1, 2, 4, 7. This is the standard SOP form of this difference, right? And in terms of expression, what we can write? We can write, this is basically similar to your full adder, right? This is quite similar to your full adder, 1, 2, 4, 7, right? So, and if it is similar to the full adder means this A bar, B bar, C plus A bar, B, C bar plus A, B bar, C bar plus A, B, C, right? This is what? This is basically your A XOR B XOR C, right? So in the half adder and the half subtractor, both difference and the sum both are same. Similar to the full adder and the full subtractor, the sum and the difference is same, right? And now what about the borrow? The borrow in the standard SOP form 1, 2, 3, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 7, right? So I can write down what is 1, A bar, B bar, C, what is 2, 3, I can write down, and 4, yes, right? So you can also solve this borrow using the key map. Here I am directly solving this thing. So if you solve this thing, then you will get A bar B plus A bar C plus BC, right? Here, and also similar to our full adder, if we take C common from here, right, and A bar B common from these two terms, this terms and this terms, if we take A bar B common from this terms, then it becomes C plus C bar, right? And if we take from here C common, right, so inside it is AB plus A bar B bar. So what is the overall this thing? So it becomes A bar B plus C. What is inside? A X nor B, right? This is X nor now, right? So these are your two borrow expressions which you get after solving these two things. Clear the thing? And also you can get this thing by directly solving, right? You can take 1 times common from this, A bar B will come, then you can take this A bar C common in between this and this, right? A bar C will come, then in this you can take your this BC common, right? In this BC, in this term and this term you can take the BC common, then these terms will come, right? So both these expressions will come, or both these expressions are true for this borrow, right? So next thing is, these are our minimized expressions for the difference and the borrow. Or the next thing is to make the circuit, right? And you know the circuit for the full subtractor. Now you can easily make, this is similar to your sum, means the combination of your two XOR. This is one XOR, this is one XOR, and this is your second XOR, right? So we can say this is your difference, right? Now go to this borrow, right? So from here it is seen that it is the only there is a NOT gate on the input A, right? And others are similar to your carry. So here I am taking the NOT gate, right? And it will give you the A bar, and then by using three AND gate and one XOR gate, you can find out the borrow, right? How? Here in this you can take the A bar and the B, here you can take the A bar and the C, and here you can take the B and the C, right? So this is your circuit for the full subtractor. Also you can use this thing, right? Also you can use this expression, right? So if you use this expression, then can you tell me how many half subtractors and OR gates are used to design the full subtractor? Two half subtractor, similar to the full adder you can design, right? Two half subtractor and your one OR gate, right? Clear? So I think so now you can easily design. So I am not designing this thing. So you can design your full subtractor using the half subtractors and one OR gates. For that you have to use this expression, right? Here you can do this thing. Okay. So I am not going to the detail of this thing. So you can design. Here, so similar to the full adder, how many NAND gates are required? How many NAND and NOR gates are required to implement 9? Right. So similar to the full adder, 9 NAND gate and NOR gates are required to implement the full subtractor. Right. Now you are familiar with the full adder and full subtractor. Now you can easily design this circuit using the NAND gate, NOR gate. Also you can design this full subtractor using the half subtractor and the OR gate. Clear? So this is all about your the full subtractor, right? Now we will discuss a next combinational circuit, that is your comparator, right? So as the name suggests, what is comparator? Basically comparator is used to compare the bits, right? Whether, for example, if there are the two bits A and B, so your comparator is a circuit, or it is also called the magnitude comparator. So your comparator is a circuit which is used to compare the input bits. For example, if there are the two inputs A and B, so your comparator circuit will give whether A is equal to B, or A is greater than B, or A is less than B, right? This is only the way to compare these two bits, right? And these are your the outputs, right? Whether if we are saying one bit comparator, so what is the meaning of that one bit comparator? Means this A and B consist of only the single bits, right? That is called the one bit comparator, right? And if we are saying the two bit comparator, means this A and B consist of this A naught A1 and this B naught B1, right? So this is means these inputs A and B consist of the two bits, right? So this is the meaning of 2-bit comparator, 3-bit comparator, and so on, n-bit comparator, right? So first we will discuss the 1-bit comparator. So all similar steps we will follow to design any combination circuit, right? So now you know, first step is you have to find out the number of the inputs and the output, right? So here you know the one in the 1-bit comparator there are the two inputs A and the B, and what are the outputs? How many outputs in this case? There are the three outputs, right? So you can say X, Y, Z, right? So in the X we can say in the X A equal to B, right? This is your X, and the Y we can say A greater than B, and in the Z we can say A less than B, right? These are the notations, right? You can define other than X, Y, Z, right? Clear? So now our first step is completed, right? We already find out the number of the inputs and the output. So our next step is the truth table. We have to make the truth table for this comparator circuit, right? And what is the truth table? These are our the inputs. It is 1-bit comparator, means your A and B is only 1-bit inputs, right? So that's why I am writing only A and B. If it is 2-bit, then I have to write A naught A1, B naught B1, because inputs A number is of 2 bits, right? So this is the difference of 1 bit and the 2 bit, right? So here I am writing X, Y, Z. These are all the outputs, right? And in the input, if there are the two inputs, then how many combinations? Basically 4 combination. Then tell me, in the first case both are 0 0, right? It means A is equal to B or not? A is equal to B, yes, both are 0 0. So your X is 1 and Y and Z is 0 0, right? In the next case, A is 0, B is 1. So A is equal to B or not? No. So that's why I put the 0 here. Now A is greater than B. No, A is not greater than B because A is 1, B is A is 0, B is 1. So we can say B is greater than A. So Z is 1 in this case, right? Because here the B is 1, A is 0, so B is greater than A, right? So this condition is true. In the next case, A is 1, B is 0. It means both are not equal. A is greater than B. Yes, this condition is true. So I can put 1 here and 0 here, right? So in the next case, both A and B is 1, 1. So yes, A equal to B and others two conditions are 0, 0. Right? Clear? So now in the next case, we have to write out the expressions for the x, y, z. Right? So what is the expression for the x? X. So it is clearly seen when both inputs are same, then the output is 1. So this is condition for which gate? XNOR gate. Right? We can say plus AB. Right? And this is your XNOR gate. Right? Because this A bar into B bar plus A into B. Right? But next, what is Y? Y is basically, so now what about the Y? What about the Y? Y is, it is clearly seen, Y is basically A, B bar, right? This is A, B bar. What about Z? Z is also clearly seen, A bar, B, right? So this is your X, Y, Z and it can't be further minimized, right? And now for the next step is your circuit, right? Then how you can design the circuit? This is XNOR gate. This is A, B, right? And this is your X. This is here we can say B. This is A, and this is AB bar. This is Y, and this is also basically we can say A. This is B, and this is your Z, right? This is your comparator circuit, 1-bit comparator circuit, right? So now we will discuss the 2-bit comparator circuit. It is quite similar to 1-bit, only difference is all these inputs are A0, A1, B0, B1. Means these inputs consist of your 2-bit, right? If I am saying the 10-bit comparator, then similar steps you have to follow. So in the 2-bit comparator, first you have to find out the number of the inputs and the output, right? And you know the inputs is A, B, but here this A is basically your A0, this A0, A1 and B is your B1, B0, right? These are the two inputs, right? That's why it is called the 2-bit comparator. And the output, there are the three outputs similar to X, Y, Z, right? X is when A equal to B, Y is we can say when A is greater than B, and Z we can say when A is less than, right? So what is the next step for this comparator? Next step is similarly the truth table. We will form the truth table for the same. And for the truth table, you know, now there are how many inputs basically? Now basically there are the two inputs, but each two inputs of 2 bits, right? So basically we have the 4 inputs here, A0, A1 and here the B0, B1, right? So combinedly I can say this is B, this is A, right? So if there are the 4 inputs, then how many combinations? 16 combination, right? Start from this 0, 0, 0, 0, right? These are your possible combinations for A naught, A1, B naught, B, right? Now, what is X? X is basically the condition when A is equal to B, right? Y is, I already told you, when A is greater than B, and Z is when A is less than B, right? So based on the inputs, now we have to find out over the all the outputs, right? So go to the first X, right? So in the first this first X, A is equal to B or not? A is basically 0 0, B is also 0 0, so we can say A is equal to B, right? Here, what about these two conditions? These are 0 0, right? So what happened in the next? Here the A is this one and B is this one. Now tell me, A is greater than B or A is less than B? Overall A is 0, B is your what? B is 1, right? Here. So we can say this is 0 in this case and this is also 0 and this is 1, right? Clear? So in the similar way, now A is this, B is this. Now tell me, yes, similar conditions, A is less than B in this case, right? So in this way, you have to fill all this truth table, right? So I'm directly filling this truth table here, right? So in the next case, now in this case, in this case, now A is 0 1, B is 0 0. Now in this case, A is greater than B, right? Clear? So that's why I have filled 1 here, right? Now again, A is 0 1, B is also 0 1, so both are same, so that's why X is 1. Clear? So in this way we can fill over the truth table. In the last, both are 1 1 1 1, so X is 1 and others are 0. Now in the next similar case, you have to find out the expressions for the X, Y, Z, right? So now you can use the K-map because now there are the 4 variables basically, right? And variables are A naught, A1, B naught, B1, right? So you can also use the K-map, right? So I am not explaining, writing all these K-maps here, so I am directly writing the answers, right? So you can use the K-map, right? So now by seeing this X, can I say X is basically what? 1 in this case when both are same, right? This is 1 in this case when both are same. Here also 1 when both are same. So can I write this thing A1 X nor B1 into A naught X nor B2, B naught? Can I write this thing? Similar to your 1-bit comparator, right? So in this 1-bit comparator, this is our condition, right? So now in the 2-bit comparator, can I write like this thing? Yes, it is clearly seen, right? And if these expressions are clearly seen from this truth table, then you can also directly write, right? So there is no need for that K-map and other things. You can directly write if it is clearly seen. If it is not clearly seen, then you can solve this expression using the K-map or the Boolean algebra, right? So why I am writing here directly, this is A1 B1 bar. Similarly, no need to remember all these things. You can solve these things using the K-map. I am repeating again and again because it's difficult to remember. If you can remember, then it depends on you, right? Similarly for the Z, see, this Y and Z is very easy to remember. Here it is A1 B1 bar and A1 X nor B1, A naught B naught X nor. Here this bar will change, right? Here the A1 bar into B1, This XNOR remains same, and here this B naught bar will change to A naught bar, right? So this is your X, Y, Z. Clear? So now tell me, for this 2-bit comparator, how many inputs are there? 4 inputs, right? So basically there are the 4 inputs, right? For 1-bit comparator, there are how many inputs? 2 inputs, right? And for the n-bit comparator, if I am generalizing this formula, it has the 2n inputs, right? For the n-bit comparator, there are the 2n inputs, right? And number of combinations. If there are the 2n inputs, then how many combinations are there in the n-bit comparator? 2 to the power n, right? If there are the 2n inputs, right, then combinations are what? 2 to power number of the inputs, right? So 2 to the power 2n, right? So number of equal combinations. Can you tell me how many equal combinations are in n-bit comparator? It is 2 to the power n, right? Because there are only the 4 equal combinations, right? This one, and this one, and the last one, right? This one, right? So 2 to the power n. So these things you can remember for the objective type, right? So from these expressions, can you design this circuit for the same? Yes, you can easily draw the circuit. Here the A1, this is XNOR basically, A1, B1. Similarly, here you can take A0, B0, and both XNOR are given to this AND gate. This is your X. Similarly, you can give for the Y and the Z. Right? Any doubt in the comparator? Okay. Now, if I am saying, can you design your 3-bit equality detector circuit? These indirect questions can be asked. So, can you design 3-bit equality detector circuit? What is the meaning of this 3-bit equality detector circuit? Means only you design for the X, right? And you know the if it is 3-bit more bit, then what is the X for the 3-bit? This is A2, this is A1, this is XNOR, this is A0, XNOR, B0, right? This is the expression for 3-bit equality detector. It is clearly seen, right? And the circuit is this one. This is A2, B2, and C, right? Clear? So this type of indirect questions can be asked in your exam, right? So next is your parity detector circuit. Parity detector circuit. Parity detector circuit. Right. So basically there are the 2 type of parity. Basically parity detector circuit is used to detect errors in your circuit, right? So I am not going into the detail of this, how to find the errors and all. So basically there are the 2 type of parity, your odd parity and the even parity, right? So the meaning of odd parity is the when there are the odd number of ones, right? When in the input, when there are the odd number of ones, then it is called the odd parity circuit. And when there are the even number of ones, then it is called the even parity, right? So for example, if there are the two inputs, and if there are the two inputs, then possible combinations are 4. Now tell me, this is your parity circuit. If both inputs are 0 0, then P should be, it is P should be 0, right? And if it is 0 1, then P should be 1 1 and the 0, right? So what is the meaning of this? It means this is your odd parity, giving the when there are the odd number of ones, then your one XOR gate gives the odd parity, right? This is only simple what your XOR gate, right? So we can say your XOR gates give the odd parity. And what about the XNOR? XNOR, XNOR even parity, right? Clear the thing? Clear? So sometimes it is this is very simple questions based on the parity is asked in your exam. Now we will discuss over the next circuit, next combination circuit. Okay. So can you design a 2-bit multiplier? If I am saying, can you design the circuit of 2-bit multiplier? Here the multiplier is what? Nothing but combination of your adders, right? So for example, if I am saying 2-bit multiplier A0 A1 multiplied with this one, right? So how you can multiply this with the B1 B0? So what is at this position? A0 B0. Here what will come? A0 no. Now what will come here? Here at this position A0 B1 and at this position A1 B1. Right? Clear? Now tell me, for this first position, this is A0 B1. Only the AND gate is needed, and for at this position, what is needed? Half adder or the full adder? Half adder is needed, right? Because there is no carry, right? Similarly, at this half adder again, because see, if there is a carry, then this carry is given here, and now one bit for this and one bit for this carry, right? So there are the two inputs only, so this half adder can be used. And if I am saying draw the circuit for the 2-bit multiplier, then in a simple way you can design this circuit. This is your A0 B0, right? This is your output, and in the next case you can say A1 B0, right? And similarly here you can say A0 B1, and both are given to this inputs to this half adder, right? And from this half adder, if there is some carry, then this is given to the next half adder, right? And this is one more AND gate, that is A1 B1, right? And this is your output of the half adder, right? And this is your sum of the half adder, right? So we can say this is X0, X1, or the X2, or the X3. So now we will discuss over the next adder circuit, that is called the parallel adder circuit. Till now we discussed how to add these two bits A and the B, right? How to add these two bits. Now if there are the more than two bits, right, then that is called the parallel adder circuit. Clear? So just a minute. Now we will discuss over the next circuit, that is your the parallel adder circuit, right? So this basically parallel adder circuit is used to add group of bits. It is used to add group of bits, right? So for example, I am saying the 4-bit parallel adder. So 4-bit parallel adder, right? So here I am giving you one example. Suppose this is 1101 and it is added to this. Both are your 4-bit number. A is 4-bit, B is 4-bit. Now how to add? 1 plus 1. This is your what? 1 plus 1 0 and the carry is there. 1 is this carry, right? Now 1 plus 0 plus 1. It is 0. Again 1 carry goes to here, right? Now 1 plus 1 plus 1. It is 1 and carry is given here. Now again 1 plus 1 plus 1. It is 1 and this is 1 is your output carry, right? Now tell me, for this first bit, position, right? Half adder is used or the full adder is used for this first bit position. One half adder, and if you can use also the full adder, right? If you can use also the full adder, you can take the third bit as a 0, right? Here the thing means half adder can be used here, but what about this second position? Here only the full adder can be used, right? What about the next position? This one, again full adder. And what about the next? Again full adder, right? So for the 4-bit addition, in 4-bit addition, how many full adder is used? Maybe 3 full adder and 1 half adder and maybe 4 full adder, right? Or can be used 4 full adder. And what about the, if there are the 4 full adders, so one full adder consists of how many half adder? One full adder consists of how many half adder? We design a full adder circuit using half adders. 2 half adder and one OR gate, right? So here I can say if there are the 4 full adder, or we can say if there are the 3 full adders, then how many half adder? 6 half adder and 3 OR gate, right? उसके साथ में क्या है? What is with that? Plus 1 half adder, right? So how many half adder total? 7 half adder and 3 OR gate, right? I can say this thing now here. Now I want to generalize this thing in n-bit addition. In n-bit addition, how many full adder is used? N minus 1 full adder and 1 half adder, right? And total full adder, n full adder. Here's the thing, or 2n minus 1 half adder and n minus 1. This is generalized things, right? So I want to generalize these things for the n-bit addition, and these questions can be asked in your exam, right? So now we will go to the 4-bit addition. Now there are the 4-bit addition. So these are two 4 bits number, right? And I am giving S0, S1, S2, S3, and if A0, B0 is added, then there must be, I can say C0 is your previous carry, whether it is, because we want to make the generalized 4-bit parallel adder, right? So it may be 0, right? Maybe 1. So here that's why I am denoting this C0. Here C1, the carry from this A0, B0, C0, right? This is C2, this is C3, right? And this is your C4, right? So now what is the circuit for the 4-bit parallel adder? 4-bit parallel adder, it is clearly said it consists of your 4 full adder, right? It is also called the ripple carry adder, right? Remember this thing. It is also called the ripple carry adder. Why it is also called the ripple carry adder? Because here this carry is act as the ripple. Ripple means the floating, means this previous carry is floated to the next position, this carry is floated to the next position, right? So that's why it is called the ripple carry adder, right? These are your 4 full adders. Right, so what are the inputs of this first full adder? Inputs is A naught, B naught, and this is your the C naught, right? And what is the output? Output of this first full adder, S naught, and what is the carry? C1, right? And C1 is given to the next, right? This is the C1 carry from this, right? And next inputs are your A naught and the A1, B1. What is the output of the second full adder? S1, and similarly this carry is floated to the next full adder, right? So this is your C2. Similarly, what is output? S2, and similarly this carry is floated to the next. This is C3, A2, B2, and here A3, B3, right? This is your S3, and this will give you the C4, right? So this is your circuit for your 4-bit parallel carry adder, right? Now tell me, now I want to ask one question based on this 4-bit parallel adder. So if all these AND gates, or if the delay, you can say, here I can write one statement in parallel adder, if each full adder, if each full adder has a delay of TPD full adder, right? Then to provide the result, the delay is n into here it is 4, right? But I am generalizing this statement, so n into TPD full adder, right? Means for the n bit parallel carry adder, if all these full adders have the same delay, right, TPD full adder, then overall delay, total delay for this circuit is n into TPD, because see, in the first delay this carry is generated, and after that this carry, if this carry is reached here, then after that only this addition takes place, na, right? So that's why this delay is multiplied each time, right? So that's why it is also called the ripple carry adder, right? Clear? This is condition when each full adder has the same delay, right? When each full adder have the same delay. What happened when what happens when each full adder have the different delay in parallel adder, right? If carry and sum have different delay, understand the statement, na? Means this sum is you got this sum at different delay, and this carry you got at the different delay, right? If the sum and carry have the different delay, then to complete one addition, the delay is one addition, means the one complete process for the AND bit, right? Then what is the delay? To complete the one addition, what is the delay? I will give one numerical based on this. Now, one addition I am saying, it is basically, don't worry, I am giving one example of this, then you are easy to understand. So this is TPD carry, this is TPD sum, right? Delay to find out this carry, and this is TPD sum is delay to find out this sum, right? So the total delay is n minus 1 TPD carry plus TPD sum or TPD carry, which are the maximum things. If this delay is this to get this sum or to get this carry, which term is maximum, that is added to in this, right? For example, right? So I am giving one example. From that example it is clear. So I am saying for one 4-bit addition, right? We'll talk first about this 4-bit or this 2 bits. Now this first full adder will give the sum after how much time? Tell me. This will give the sum after this 15 nanosecond, right? This sum you will get after 15 nanosecond. But what about this carry? This carry you will get after 12 nanosecond. But this circuit have to wait more for the 3 nanosecond to get the sum. Understand? If it is opposite happens, for example, if I am saying TPD carry is 15 nanosecond and TPD sum is your 12 nanosecond, then what happened? After 12 nanosecond sum will get, but the circuit have to extra wait for the 3 nanosecond, because जब तक आपका, if you will not get this carry, then your next stage will not be completed, right? Only first you will get this carry, then only your next stage will be operated. Understand the things? That's why this thing is added here. That's why this term is given, which is the maximum, that is added here. And then again, this is what? N minus 1 TPD carry, right? Means this TPD sum here, for example, I am taking this example here. The sum you will get the 15 nanosecond, right? And here this carry you will get after 12 nanosecond, right? But after that what happened? In 12 nanosecond you will get this C1, right? And then A1, B1 is available. Then after how much time you will get this S1? S1 you will get after finding this C1 only, right? Clear? So again this S1 you will get the 15 nanosecond, and this one you will get the 12 nanosecond, right? So in this way this cycle will repeat it and repeat it. So that's why this formula is valid. Clear? This is all about your the parallel adder, or it is also called the ripple carry adder, right? So this is all about today lecture. So students, if you have any doubt related to this topic, then you can send me a mail or you can contact me directly. So for more video update, please subscribe this channel, fine, so that every information regarding your course or regarding this digital electronics lectures you can get easily. Fine. Thank you for your attention.